Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. Well, it's Wednesday, hump day. We're in the middle. Oh boy, what a day! What a day. Mostly red. I will say right now. Before the show started, we had a green candle. We actually peaked up into the green just a tiny bit, but then we quickly fell right back. We fell right back into the red. So we are looking at a red day. I also have a poll up, guys. I'm curious to see which commodity are you the most bullish on? And I gave you 4 options. We got oil, we've got gold, we got silver, and well, you guys already know I'm pretty darn bullish on copper, and we got copper there as well. Let's see what you guys are. Are you guys really bullish on, maybe you're bullish on silver? I don't know. We're going to have to find out. Oh, and I need to turn that timer on because the Financial Express is back in business. So, of course, guys, in December, we're doing the Financial Express, which basically means first of all, we normally do a market close on Wednesdays. Well, with the Financial Express in December, we could potentially do a market close on every single market close. It basically comes down to you guys. So if in the course of today's show, we get either 4 supers or 4 gifted subs or a combination, as long as it adds up to 4, we'll add a show. We'll add a show for tomorrow. And if that happens tomorrow, we'll have that opportunity to add one to Friday and keep the train going. Keep the train going. We're doing good. Like I said, so far, I have had to work every single day. So, and I have a feeling tomorrow might not be any different. In fact, before I jump into the charts, we got ourselves a super sticker coming in for $2 from Brian. So we're a quarter of the way there. We're a quarter of the way, and that, of course, makes Brian the greatest of all time, one of our goats. We've opened up the corral. Let's see if we can get 4 of those cute little guys into that corral. All right. Whew. All right, guys, let's quickly jump into the charts. I want to see if maybe we snuck back into the green while I was talking. It's hard to say. Here we go. Oh, I really should bring up the actual screen as well. Oops, I'm going to switch over there. There we go. Before I bring it up, and I'm going to bring up the entire screen. That way there, I can just drag things over there if I want to. All right, boom, bang, share. There it is. And we're currently, look at this, guys. We're sitting at negative 0.01%. So this is pretty, you can't get closer to 0 without being 0. So yeah, it's pretty flat. We have not made a lot of progress on the market today. For the most part, the first half of the day was mostly down. Second half of the day, a little bit of a rally towards the end of the day. We'll see how this goes and see if we can carry this rally into tomorrow. That'd be kind of cool. So I guess another question I should ask is, did you guys buy the dip today? Was there any good sales on that you took advantage of? Now, looking at us for the month, of course, we can see that we're below that blue line. Anybody new to the channel who does not know, that blue line is where we left last month. So if we're above it, we're in the green. If we're below it, we're in the red. And if we want to go with a holiday flair, below it, we're on the naughty list. Above it, we're on the nice list. Right now, we're on the naughty list. So if you're bullish on coal, you're in the right spot. We're in the right spot for sure. So what can I say? All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. It is also not having a great day. It does not have that late day rally that we had. It is firmly in the red. 0.98% down. Not a great day. Also, the NASDAQ, even worse, 1.70% down. I really thought tech had a chance of rallying back today, but not so much. Not so much. What can you say? Sometimes things just don't work out. Just don't work out. And for tech, that's our story today. I'm interested to see what the heat map's going to look like here in a moment or two. The Dow Jones down a little bit, down 0.36. So these are our industrial stocks. They're still sitting in a green position for the month though. So that's not too bad. Same idea with the, oh no, the little guys, the little ones have moved on to the naughty list. So yeah, the Russell has, they're down about 1% and they have crossed over onto the red side of the blue line. Oh boy. Oh gosh. All right. Well, let's look at commodities. That's our other story today. So we've got gold. Gold currently up 0.94%. Silver, look at silver, up 4.21%. That's not too shabby. Copper up a full percent. And oil's having a pretty good day. Look at oil, up 2.99%. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now, of course, there is news that part of the problem, part of the thing that's going on with oil is that Donald Trump and the United States government, they want the price of oil down. Why do they want the price of oil down? Well, it takes away from some of the other stuff that they're doing. Some of the other stuff, particularly tariffs, if oil stays low, it helps keeps prices down and people don't feel the pain of the tariffs as much. In a nutshell, that's kind of what they want. OPEC, on the other hand, is like, we're losing money. So even though OPEC had been hiking production, it's looking like in early 2026, they're probably going to cut production a bit to try to get the price of oil back up. So we'll have to see how the Trump administration sort of counters that. That'll be another interesting thing for sure. But oil, well, look, it's up to 3%. So it's kind of moving right now. So unless something's going on in the world right this second that I'm unaware of, hopefully not. All right, crypto not having a great day. You can see Bitcoin is in the red as well as Ethereum. So Bitcoin down 2%, Ethereum down almost 5%. Oh boy. All right, let's switch over to that that heat map. And oh boy, is it it's pretty red. It's pretty red for sure. The banks, most of the banks are down today. Well, they're all down. TD's down 0.5%. Royal Bank's down 0.5% as well. BMO down 1.29%. Scotiabank's only down 0.33. So that's not too bad. Now, interestingly enough, our energy stocks, they're also down today. Look at this. CNQ down 3.72. And you know what? Oh gosh, I want to refresh this. Aha! There we go. I was looking at that. I'm like, wait a minute. Why are they down? Oil is having a good moment and they're not down. I refreshed this. The banks are still all down, but for some reason, our oil stocks hadn't refreshed. So yeah, CNQ, they're up. Look at that, up 1.84. Imperial Oil up 0.09. Cenovus is up. The only one who's down right now really is Torlamine, who's down about 0.5%, so 0.57. All right, let's take a look at the United States here. And there we go. I just saw it refresh. And oh boy, we got not a great day for tech, unless your name is Microsoft. Microsoft is up 0.26, but everybody else is feeling some pain. Look at this. Google's down 3.18%, Apple's down 0.66%, Nvidia's down 3.67%, Tesla 4.50%, Amazon's down. Well, Walmart's up. There we go. There's some a little bit of highlight in our day for sure. looking over at crypto, and once again, oh boy, it's red. It's like a red odyssey here. Everybody's looking to be mostly down. We got Bitcoin down, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano. Yeah, they're all down. All right, let's pick our altcoin of the day. Just trying to scroll in here and get ourselves nice and deep into this hole. There's about, quite literally, there's more than 15,000 altcoins out there. I like to, whatever the market's mostly doing in crypto, let's take a look at somebody who's doing the exact opposite. We'll grab this one in here. So let's see here. All right, this is V Systems. I don't know what this means. Okay. I I like their logo maybe a little bit, but other than that, I don't really know what V Systems is. Don't know what it does. There's a lot of these coins out here. This is one that is not worth very much. Pretty much it's worth 0.0057 of a cent. So it's not worth much. It seems to have, I wonder what happened to it back here. Something happened back here. Look at this big jump that it had here. I don't know what it does. Guys, there are so many of these coins out here that you could shake a stick at. Some of them seem to be pretty good. Some of them just don't make any sense. This one, it is up 14%. Why? No idea. I will say, a lot of these smaller coins, I like to refer to them as crap coins because quite literally, it's like going to the casino, to the crap table, throwing the dice. Yeah, it's not, winning is not in your favor, guys. Not, and it's the same with these as well. This is a V coin. What does V stand for? I don't know. Whatever, I'll just say this. To me, it stands for very dangerous, very likely to lose your money. Very not gonna buy this. That's what it stands for. So be careful with these little guys. If you're interested in them, do your homework and then do your homework again. So that due diligence piece, you want to be doing it. You want to read those white papers, all of that fun stuff. In the meantime, if you are interested in crypto, stick to your big coins. Stick to your big coins, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, all of the rest. All right, let's get back to the chat. Let's get back to the chat. And we have a bell coming up here in 1 minute and 14 seconds. So I'm not going to miss the bell. I am trying. I am really, really trying. I'm very easy at getting distracted. Very easy at missing the bell. Today, we're not missing it. All right. Claude, first in the house. Hello. Oh boy, I was like Wilma and Betty today. Charge. Yep. Yeah, the old Flintstones, they did like to spend money. So I'm assuming, Claude, that means you are buying stocks today or ETFs. You are doing a bit of spending, I think. And we have a cowboy in the house with a greetings all. And Scott saying, good afternoon, everyone. And guys, we got 30 seconds left. Vic is in the house. First to hit like and comment. Nice. Gotta love the like button. I certainly do. We're going to talk a little more about the like button when Mary gets in. Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. And Stan is in the house with a hello all. And guys, it's about to get loud here in a second. We got the bell. Here it comes. All right. The market is closed. Whew. And I got the bell exactly on time. I'm getting a little proud of myself. Which probably means tomorrow I'm going to miss it by 10 minutes. And well, if we have a show tomorrow, we that's still to be determined. Lane says, good afternoon. Let's say, Cowboy, do you think this is tax loss harvesting? A portion for sure. I think we just still got a lot of jitters going down in the States. There's a lot of AI jitters. There is a lot of tech sell-off going. Now, mind you, I do want to point out, when it does come to tax loss harvesting, generally they will sell, some of the bigger companies, some of the bigger stocks. So some of this tech sell-off might be part of that. It might also just be profit taking too, because I don't know how much, if you've been holding a lot of these big technology companies all year, you're probably not tax loss harvesting. You're probably taking profits. All right, and let's see. No name, no body man says hello. Try saying that handle 5 times really fast. I would mess it up. But it's very cool. Mike Hucknell Appreciation Day, Simply Red. Is that the name of the Simply Red guy? The Simply Red guy. Good old 80s band. They're kind of a bit of a I don't know, what would you call them, a one-hit wonder? I can maybe think of one song. That's why I'm thinking maybe. And I used to always get Simply Red mixed up with Level 42, but that's just me. Claude says, uranium would have been my first choice if the poll would have included it. I think close with copper. Yeah. Unfortunately, the poll would only let me put in 4. So I bumped uranium, but I'll tell you, yeah, uranium would be a good choice as well, I think. And we'll close that poll up pretty soon, guys. I just wanted to see where you guys were at. In fact, let me take a look and see where the poll is at right now. All right, let's see here. No, I don't want to end the poll. I want to see the poll. All right, so right now, oil is winning. 40% of you believe oil is going to be, you're most bullish on oil. 40% most bullish on oil, followed by copper. Then we got silver and gold at the bottom. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay. All right. I'll let this run a little bit longer just in case anybody hasn't yet voted on the poll. But that's very interesting, seeing gold at the bottom. Is it that you guys are thinking that gold has exploded so much this year, there's just no place to go? Is that kind of why gold is sitting at the bottom? All right. Now, before we go any further, we got another super coming in from Scratch, and it's bull on silver, but buying oil stocks still cheap. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna talk about each of these. We're gonna talk a little bit more about these in depth, of course, for sure. Now, of course, we have. There we go. We've got another goat in the corral. Scratch is also the greatest of all time. So we got 2 in there. We're halfway to a show for tomorrow. That's always fun. Always fun. It's looking good. It's looking good for tomorrow, guys. All right, now let's get back to where we were. Give up the likes. I do like the likes, so absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. Holy banana, I am back. Well, you left out the bread, but holy banana bread, I am back. Welcome back, Perlovia. I have not seen you in a bit, so it's good to see you. It's good to see you again. It's always fun. One of the fun things as a YouTuber, this is always fun, especially one who, does this. When somebody comes back who hasn't been in the chat for like a while and I recognize them, that's kind of cool. It's sort of like, have you ever been out in the world and you run into a celebrity? It feels like that. It's like, oh my God, is that actually Perlovia? It is like that. And I've run into celebrities out in the wild, but this one is pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. Same kind of feeling. It's like, yay, look. All right. Brian says, I want to see the special goat again. Oh, that special goat is so funny. Yeah, so basically, guys, we do have a special goat. So we have our normal 4 for for when we do the thing. But if one of you gets ambitious and we go to a 5th, like a 5th super or whatever, then we bring out the special goat. The special Christmas goat comes out. And I can start laughing about it just talking about that goat because I think it's funny. No Name says goats climb mountains. Yes, they do. They also, if you've ever been driving in the Rockies, there's places where you can go and you can basically run into a whole bunch of mountain goats, and they'll come out and they'll surround your car and start licking the salt off of your car. It's pretty cool. I've had that happen once, and I thought that was pretty darn neat. Scratch says hello everyone, and we already know Scratch is here because there's a super in there from Scratch. Doorpat says hello all. Hello Door, how are you? Let's see. Michael says hello Candace. Did you buy any Northland Power for your swing trade which dipped today? I did not. I I will tell you guys right now. I made some tech buys this morning. Really really was thinking tech was going to move up a bit. So I might be sitting on those for a little bit just because tech didn't move in the direction I wanted to. But yeah, that happens though, right? That's a part of trading. Sometimes the market just does not do what you're expecting. And, have a plan. Always have a plan. All right, Cowboy. Next buy time will be 23 after the twice monthly shares payout. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. The TSX is led by the golden miners this year. Yeah, pretty much. There's actually, there was some more news as well today that came out. If you guys are familiar with that whole bid for tech resources and what is it, Anglo American, they're looking to merge. They're looking to merge basically. Well, basically Anglo is buying tech. That got past a big hurdle today. Well, last week it passed the shareholder vote, so the shareholders have voted in favor. This week they got the blessing of the government. So there's still regulators that will be involved over this. So it'll still take probably another year to settle. But the fact they got past the government definitely sets them up. As long as the regulators are like, okay, we're fine with that, that deal can probably be a done deal sooner than later. And I like that. I like that a lot. Brian says, I'm not having a good day. TFSA down 0.6%, RSP down 1.4. It's only a good day if you let it. Or sorry, it's only not a good day if you let it not be a good day. I say this a lot, like if you're not selling, like if you're down on a day and you're not selling anything, then you're not really down if you think about it. You haven't realized any losses, and if you are getting some good deals when things move back up, that'll look even better for you. So never let it get you down. Never let it get you down. Doorpat says, saw your poll, Candace. I actually don't own any gold, nor silver, oil, or copper. I have 15 plus years to invest, so going really heavy on tech in the S&P, especially now it's down, no blue chips. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Michelle says, RSCL, good time to buy. Hello, all. Let me take a look. Let's take a, whoops, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go, ooh, yikes, there's two of me. Oh, look at this. Back over here on oil. Oil's still climbing a little bit, 3.43%. Although that's not where I intended to go. I did want to take one quick gander and see here. Just because we're here, the S&P 500, yeah, it's starting to slip into the red a little bit there. So it doesn't look like we're going to get doesn't look like we're going to sneak into a green day. But all right, I came over here so that we could see a white screen. This is a close-up of a snowball. No, it's not. It's just a screen that does not seem to want to load. So let's just reload it. Resource sites, TMX money, bang, boom. All right, RSCL, here we go. All right, so RSCL, pull it up. So this here is your Global X Enhanced Russell 2000 covered call ETF. So as you guys know, and let's just pop over here for a moment. This here is our Russell, one of the ones that we track. Oh, guys, look at this. the Russell made it back up over the blue line. So that's kind of cool. I like that. But yeah, this is the Russell. So these are your small cap. So the little stocks that are too small to be on any of the big exchanges in the States, they get lumped over here into this Russell. So this Global X1, that's what it tracks. It tracks, well, basically the top 2,000 of the little people, of the little stocks. It's not like they're tracking Smurfs. We're talking stocks. We're talking stocks. All right. So, all right. Let's see here. Good time to buy. Well, yeah, we did have a retracement today on the Russell. So that's good. That definitely might be a good time to buy. Let's pull up. We're going to pull up here the 1 year. Now, I guess let's actually, you know what? This hasn't been around that long. Let's grab the 6 months. This gives us a little bit better. So yeah, we got a little bit of a retracement. Does that mean it's a good time to buy? Honestly, I think this is a good time to buy nonetheless. I like this exchange. I think it's something that we haven't had for a while. Sorry, when I say exchange, I'm actually talking about, let's just say, talking about the Russell. I like the Russell. I think it's a good thing to invest in. I like that Global X has produced an ETF of the Russell. Obviously, it would have been nice to buy down here at 22, but nonetheless, I still think this is going to be an interesting ETF. An interesting ETF for sure. Yeah, and I don't think it has any dividends. I think it's just straight up tracking, but I do like this one. I do like it a lot. So yeah, I would say, you're not, if like I said, if it falls a little further, that would be an even better time, but I think this is a good one to dollar cost average. Most of your superstars eventually come out of the Russell anyway, and the fact that it's a managed account, that's not bad either. So, all right. Where is my mouse? There's my mouse. Cowboy says this week has been ugly for my totals. Yeah. What can I say? No Name says prospect of war is probably driving oil up. Yeah, there's been more stuff happening with Trump in Venezuela and all of that oil. And in fact, one of the things I heard, latest things I heard is that, and this probably isn't that old, but Trump has been looking to reclassify fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. So shades of Iraq, right? If they go into Venezuela over that. And here's the thing, though. I really don't think Venezuela is responsible for very much fentanyl coming into the United States. So it kind of feels like it's about oil and not about anything else. But, it's all, we'll have to see. We'll have to see for sure. Okay, Tom says, was debating whether to take profit on YTSL yesterday, up 53%. Should have pulled the trigger, down 3%. Yeah, Tesla not having the best day. Not having the best day. And it's not just you, Tom. It's not just you. Like I said, I did open some trades today. And one of them actually was in Tesla. So it's down. I'm fine with it. It's going to be back up. And actually, the funny thing is, when I got into the Tesla trade today, it actually went up initially. I was in a spot that I almost threw in a stop loss. I almost did, but I didn't. So then it turned around pretty quickly. I'm like, oh, okay. It looks like I'm holding this for a little bit, but I've been through this more times than I can count. Tesla always comes back. I'm not super worried. Paul says, well, after yesterday in the RRSP, selling 25 Tesla at 486.50 and buying 124 STRC. Then a few minutes ago, sell 124 STRC and buy back my 25 Tesla at, look at that, 469.14. Then with cash left over, bought 51 Harvest TSLY. You bought the dip. Paul, you got the dip. That's pretty cool. Let's see, Bitcoin did have a brief spike to over 90K, then quickly came back down the same amount. Yeah, you can get some of the volatility has been crazy. And I would dare to say that also Tesla has had so much volatility this year. Brian, I just bought 26 shares of 6C with my dividends in my account. Nice. Oh, the next video, guys. So I still haven't heard back from 9 Point. They're still looking at that interview, so that's not going to be next. I come up with something special. We have looked. We always look at the best. Every so often, I want to look at the worst. So we're going to look, and this time up, it's going to be, so this will be Friday's video. Tomorrow, if you're a channel member, you can watch this. We're going to look at the worst 7 income ETFs. We're going to look at the worst 7 of them from, from 2025. So from this year. So you can probably guess some of them. I know you can guess some of them. But that's going to be the next video. So we're going to look at au fromage, the stinky ones. Oh boy. All right. No name says no need to panic yet. I assume in regards to war talk. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, even when Trump changed the name of the Secretary of Defense to the Secretary of War, it's like, seriously? That's never a good omen. Perlovia, so right, no need at all. And no name says not even worth a tulip bulb. Perlovia, market down is an opportunity. Remember that. Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. So when the market's down, it is an opportunity to get some better deals, for sure. Ian says, you can read the white paper. If the white paper is lies, is there any legal ramifications? I would say no. But yeah, I mean, you got to realize one of the problems is that because it's crypto, because it is not technically tied to one country, you don't have as much regulation as you would. So for example, if you're looking at a white paper or a prospectus for, let's say, an ETF up here in Canada, well, there's definitely bars, there's certainly regulations that they have to hit for the regulatory, and they got to get the regulatory approval. Not so much with one of these coins, because that's the reason there can be rug pulls, right? Somebody can just make a coin, write a white paper, and say, yeah, here's my white paper. So no, there's no real legal ramifications. But I mean, if they create, they sort of a phony white paper or whatever, just write whatever the heck they want, and then they do a rug pull, there could be legal complications or consequences for that action if they get caught. So just one of those things. But yeah, no, there's really no ramifications when it comes to crypto, at least with some of the altcoins, unfortunately. But then again, there's people out there that says, no, we want the decentralization. We want there to be no rules. So you got to look at it from, I guess, both sides. Paul says, with the new 51 Harvest TSLY now increased income monthly $12.75. Nice. You missed Wahipple giving a sub just before my comment. He was first in the chat. Wait a minute, really? Okay. Let me. Yeah, like not only did I miss it. Really? Did he? I did miss it, obviously. Also, it didn't come up as starred in the StreamYard. So, okay, let me just take a look here and see what the heck. All right, I'm gonna have to, you know what? Give me 1 second here. All right, guys, you're gonna see double me. You're gonna see double me for this, but it can't be helped. All right, let's end the pool. I think we got enough there. All right, let's go back to the beginning. We're going back to the beginning. Uh-oh. Come on, guys. Yeah, see, look at that. It's not even showing in here. That's interesting. Okay, I don't know what happened. Wahipple. Oh wow, we're getting that thing where you get that sort of the forever thing. Yeah, it's not even showing here. Why is that? That is odd. That is odd. Okay. Yeah, if Wahipple did that, then yeah, that means that's a third goat. That's a third goat. I did not see it. Nothing showing it. Nothing is showing it. So I don't know what happened. Well, all right, this is what we'll do. Wahipple, just let me know, because I'm pretty sure you're here. Let me know that you did that, and we'll count that as a third sub, or a third, yeah, well, a third whatever. Oh, oh gosh. I'm just going to zip out of there quickly because you guys are probably getting pulled into the screen as it goes deeper and deeper. That's really weird. I've never seen it, like, completely miss it. I've never seen that happen. That is weird. That is weird. I don't know. I don't know. Oh boy. All right. Claude says, yes, I indeed bought some CLS, Hura, and CCO, and also more BMO. Okay. My mind is still stuck on Wahipple. All right. Morley says, I am bullish on the banks. So adding up to my 60 and bank regulatory for dividends. Let's see. What about the big six banks commercial loan losses? That's, yeah. I mean, obviously there's going to be some of that there, but when you look at the full loan loss provisioning, that of course does cover both, both normal as well as commercial. So it is both sides. So, I think they're still considered under on all of that so far. Not to say that 2026 isn't going to be a bad year. We don't know that yet. All right. And Larry says, I hear freedom is coming to South America. Freedom. Oh, boy. All right. Guys, I'm kind of curious now. All right. We're just going to open CNN because I feel like something's happening in the world that I don't know about right now. Let's take a quick gander here and see. No, just Obamacare stuff. Officials hold news conference on a shooting, all of that. A little bit. Okay, so there's a little bit here on the U.S.-Venezuela tensions. So, and this part I had heard about Trump ordering a blockade of some of the oil tankers. But yeah, so it doesn't look. Now, maybe, I don't know. I don't see anything else, but I think that was the latest that I had heard. So let's hope this doesn't escalate into war. I mean, holy banana bread. Scratch says LOL, free Venezuela. And here's who I've been waiting for. It's Mary. Guys, Mary is our official captain of the like button. You gotta, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Just reach down, click on the button, turn it blue, give me that like. It'll help the algorithm. It'll send this out. And more importantly, I get to have some coffee while you're doing it. Oh gosh, that's so good. So good. It's like, why do I only have holiday flavors in my coffee at the holidays? It tastes so good, I should have it all year round. Perlova says, anyone here invested with Symmetrix Corp? I know I'm not, but let's take a look here. Symmetrix. There we go. Symmetrix Corporation. All right. Well, it's a penny stock. That's why I'm not there. Oh boy. Let's just see here. Can I see anything here? All right. I'm not seeing anything. All right. Let's try this again. All right. Symmetrix Corporation. Oh yeah, this one here looks to be active. Sometimes I get a couple of these all together. Let's go to this one here. All right, here. This one does appear to be active. All right. So yeah, it's a penny stock, but it is moving in the right direction. So it is climbing up. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's see what it does. Ooh. Specialty construction contractor. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, cellular concrete solutions. Okay, this is actually really good. This, when you're looking at a country that is now putting a lot of stress on building, not just houses but infrastructure, that could work out well in this company's favor. Now, I don't like it that it's a penny stock, but let's take a look at the back end on Symmetrix. Let's see here. All right, very little debt, so 10% debt to equity, fantastic. The return on equity, 8.30%. That's not bad. That's not bad. So they're profitable currently. They don't have a lot of debt, and they're heading towards an environment that I like. So nonetheless, even though I like what I've seen, I still have to caution you guys with this because it's a penny stock. Penny stock usually means, and let's just take a look here, like, yeah, very small market cap. Their market cap is 52 million. Well, 52 and a half. 52 and a half million, small market cap. That's, it's risky. It's risky if things go bad or if we move into a recession. So just something to keep in mind. But nonetheless, I still think it's an interesting play. And you know how I say, if you are going to play with penny stocks, of course, don't put more in than you can afford to lose, or that play money. But I do like this one. This one does, yeah, it looks pretty solid. I like it. All right. And guys, we got a few things happening here. I got to get caught up. All right. So first of all, let's try to get caught up here. All right, we got Paul. Paul was in with a super sticker here, number 3 or 4. If Wahipple was in there, I didn't see Wahipple, but like I said, I said we'd give Wahipple credit nonetheless. So, all right, so that means that's goat number 3. There we go. Goat number 3, Paul. Well, Paul's a long time goat. Paul is awesome. All right, and then, holy banana bread, we've got a $5 super sticker coming in from Kat. So that there is either number 4 or number 5. So right now I'm going to give her the number 4 goat. There we go. And it's kind of festive in a way, a little bit. There's a little gift there, a little gift. All right, now that alone gets us our show for tomorrow. So Thursday show in the book. But it doesn't stop there. In comes Brian with a gifted Mountain Finance membership because Brian wants to see the special goat. All right, guys, here is our special Christmas goat if you haven't seen it. I love that goat. And if that hasn't topped things off, Brian's like, I also want to see the beaver. So another $1 super sticker. And yeah, here's the beaver for you, Paul. We got the beaver. Oh, boy. Okay, now we've seen everything today. We'll have to, if you guys keep coming at me with these, we're going to have to recycle. We will have to recycle. What can I say? All right, now, the absolute fun part, well, one fun part is I get to turn off the night bot. So that's done. And now I just need to find where the banana bread I was. Actually, pretty much right about here. Let's see here. Yeah, I was on Perlovia. All right, Brian. Oh, and thank you to everybody. And we do now have a show for tomorrow. Okay. Brian says, BK did something interesting this week. 11 for 10 splare shit. A share split. I think I said something really, really wrong. Holy cow. All right. 11 for 10 share split. I'm still a little off my game because of the dancing, the dancing goat. That just cracks me up. Purpose was to dilute the shares and keep the dividend yield at 15%. Good to know they want it at 15% and will do so actively. Yeah, and some companies will do that. So, CLSA, they are, and actually the funny thing is here, let's just jump into the next part, Brian. That's why I'm not heavily into CLSA yet. Dividends are lower yields now. CLSA does have a yield target that they want. And I know if you watch some of the videos on their site, they've got a couple of videos just explaining a little bit about their ETF. And they have a target dividend that they said eventually they're going to try to push it back to that price. So obviously, what is it, are they going to do? You know, are they going to do some kind of a share split? I don't know. But we're going to have to see what they do to get themselves back at that price. It could be a small share split to knock the price down, keep your yield the same, or keep the dividend the same, so the yield goes up. We'll see how that looks, but that could be really, really interesting. Crotchan says, TQQQ lost 6% today. That does not surprise me. So of course, TQQQ. That is one of those, I almost said Yield Max. It's a Beta Pro. It's a Beta Pro 3X NASDAQ. 3X NASDAQ ETF. So, not a place you want to be in today. No siree. Basically, as the NASDAQ is falling, this thing is falling 3 times as fast. So very dangerous, very, very dangerous. That's why if you're looking to find out more about the Beta Pro, just go to the channel and search dangerous. I got a video. It's got the word dangerous in it because these are dangerous. In fact, on a day like today, you would probably, I think it's SQQQ would be the one that you'd be playing the inverse. But yeah, be very careful, guys, with any of these really big leveraged. They're not designed for investors. They're designed for traders, short-term traders. In fact, these ones reset the leverage every day. So there can be a whole bunch of funky math results from them doing that can, even if you think you're ahead, you could actually end up being behind if you play these for over longer periods of time. So yeah, just honestly, unless you're like super risky and okay with the leverage and know what you're doing, stay away from these ones, guys. Just, yeah, save yourself the headache for sure. Now, somebody who is okay with these type of funds is the Larry. The Larry is good with stuff like this because he's running a fund. He knows what he's doing. So Trump's speech tonight's likely going to discuss U.S. bombing the terrorists in Venezuela. Yikes. Okay, let me ask this question. I know that I didn't see anything when I went over to CNN just a moment ago. Have they started bombing? They started bombing more stuff. Yeah, what can I say? TQQ lost 6%. Time to load the boat. Once again, be careful. Be careful. That's what I'm saying. And for most of you, no, lock your boat up. Put the tarp over it. Don't load your boat. Scott says, commercial loans are also part of the provisions for credit losses. Yeah, that's exactly what I mentioned earlier. CLSA, I have no interest in it. Can't buy its holdings and make more in dividends. Can buy its holdings. Okay, fair enough. Brian says, in a good market, that's true. In a bear market, maybe not. All right. Let's see. All right. Michael says, job close at 18 that has a price target of $2. That earnings could be great after the close. That has no debt. That could have 17 million of cash to watch shares run after earnings. Okay, interesting. BNS Vacation Pay Class Action.ca. Is this a class action against Scotiabank? Interesting. I'm not gonna go to it right now, but interesting. I didn't realize that there was a class action against Scotiabank. But yeah, you know, these things do happen. These things do happen for sure. The worst 7. How do you spell MSTE? Yeah. And well, I will say one thing. I will mention one thing with this list. Are they the exact worst 7? Well, within the criteria, sorta. So, for example, let's say MSTE is there, but also MSTY. I'm not going to do both. I would just do one of the two. So, there will be a few that don't make it simply because they're already represented there by another form of themselves. So, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. It'll make sense when you watch the video for sure. Was MU earnings any good to start moving up? MU. Who's MU? Who's MU. I should know MU. I feel like, Micron. There we go. Micron. Did they have earnings today? I'm kind of curious. Let's take a look. I'm kind of really curious right here. All right. MU, Micron. Here we go. Let's add them. Oh, my watch list is full. I got to delete a few. All right, goodbye. I'll delete. And yeah, I'll get rid of you, Dollarama. I'll leave MSTE, because why not? All right, perfect. Now, let's go and add MU one more time. So Micron, of course, as we know, today was not the best day for technology for the NASDAQ, but let's pull it up here. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so Micron, of course, they didn't have a great day, but they have earnings that have come out. And I can tell you right now, look, before we even look at the earnings, look at this. In after hours, they're already up 233. So definitely good earnings. And yeah, look at this. They beat on their EPS by 20.67%. Not too shabby. Revenue, they beat by 5.70%. So this is definitely a good earnings call for Micron. And let's see what they're doing. So I like it. I think yeah, I'm still very bullish overall on technology. And there is stuff that is going on right now in the world in technology, particularly in quantum. So one of the issues that quantum computing has is that being able to get a whole bunch of quantum circuits to work together has been a bit of a struggle. But I heard about a group in the Netherlands that have made quite a breakthrough, being able to basically really push quantum technology ahead quite a bit. I'm not going to talk too much about it, only because I just kind of quickly scanned through that information myself. But I think there's going to be some really interesting stuff. In the next couple of years, quantum will be somebody to watch. And that means, you know what? Ooh, you know who we haven't looked at in a while? Since we're talking quantum, good old BlackBerry. Oh, well, they're feeling the pain today. They're down. They're down a little bit today. What are they down here? 2.48%. Oh boy. But nonetheless, I'm going to bring up their 3-year. They've been a little bit choppy, but I'm still very bullish on them, because when we do move into that quantum, so when we do move into quantum computing, one of the specialties that BlackBerry has, and when you say BlackBerry, most people still think phones. You got to get past that. They really don't do phones anymore. They do 2 things. They do quantum security, quantum encryption, things like that for passwords, and that's what's going to be really big. They also do IoT, the IoT, the Internet of Things. They also do that as well. So just something to keep in mind. All right. Anyway, sitting over here on, and this is one of these things too. Even right now, like I would say 5 years from now, people will be looking at BlackBerry and wishing they bought today. That's one thing I will say about BlackBerry. So I am very bullish on them. Obviously, do your own homework on it. Don't just sort of go and buy a whole bunch of BlackBerry because I'm bullish on it. Determine if you're bullish on it, of course. All right, let's see here. Doorpat says, for those that use Wealthsimple, can I open a USD account then transfer USD from Questrade to Wealthsimple? Plan to use Norbit's Gambit, also the USD account on Wealthsimple. Can it be RRSP, FHSA, or TFSA? Thanks. Okay, well, I'll tell you what I know. If you open up a US account with Wealthsimple, it's $10 a month for Wealthsimple Pro, and that will give you, I can definitely confirm it will give you RRSP and TFSA. I'm not sure about HFSA though. But if you do hold a balance of more than $100,000, then you don't pay the $10 a month. You get it for free. Now, when it comes to transferring, if you've got USD stuff over at Questrade, it seems to me that you should be able to do it, but I can't confirm it because I haven't done it. I haven't looked at that. If anybody can confirm it for Doorpat, please, please do for sure. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys are typing away to help out Doorpat. Oh, I love it. Paul says, what is funny about TSLA is it was at high in the open, then went down all day. I know, it did. Like quite literally, I opened up a swing trade on Tesla this morning, and within an hour, I was sitting at about a $400 profit. I should have thrown in a swing. I normally do throw in basically a stop loss at that point, but I was just like, okay, I was feeling good about tech. I was feeling good about tech today, and I was wrong because it changed right then, and it fell before I got a stop loss in. So now I'm just riding it out. I'm riding that one out. All right. No Name says I bought 550 units of GLCC at an average of 2105 in my RRSP, but my brokerage account says the average is 2006. Why would that be? Just a bad calculation by the brokerage software. If GLCC is employing a return of capital, so ROC, if some of your covered call payments are coming back as ROC, that can actually knock down your adjusted cost base. Now, I don't know if that is what happened in this particular case, but that might be what the answer is. You can always contact your brokerage and ask them, and they could certainly clarify it for you, but I would bet that's probably what it is. It's probably some return of capital that was in there, because it will knock down your thing. Even though it's in your RRSP and it doesn't really matter because it becomes 100% taxable anyway, that's just why that number would change. Brian says, I am a premium member in Wealthsimple. I transferred TD into Wealthsimple as a US, no issue, into my RRSP. Nice. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. I loved it. That was awesome. A Scratch says, jumping into the mountain finance rabbit hole. I'm about 20 minutes. I'm about 20 minutes behind where you guys are typing right now. So let me say one thing right away. I'm gonna, if you guys are talking to each other and not directly to me, I'm gonna jump over it. Also, guys, if you have a question directly that you really want me to answer, don't forget, just throw either a QQQ in front of it or a question mark, question mark, question mark. That way there, I can look for those as I go, and I will do my best to not skip any of those. Mark says, "Hey Candace, repool. What about LNG? I do like the natural gas. Yeah, I guess LNG. Yeah, I like it. I know exactly where I was at when this part of the conversation came out, making the jump to warp speed. Yes, that was when I was, yeah, all right. Me very bullish on LNG. Yeah, I do like LNG as well. I do like LNG. And like I also would have loved like I wish I could add more. Like YouTube has a 4 limit. They used to have 5. It used to be 5 and then they cut it back to 4. That annoyed me. I like to have more. Like I would have loved to have had LNG there, uranium there, all of that fun stuff. Claude says, unfortunately, is could not make the stream. Wahipple, you can't open a new YouTube tab as a guest and check. Maybe you could see it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's yeah, it's weird. Yeah, the whole the Wahipple thing. I'm just like that's weird. And I also have, by the way, and you know, I'll quickly check over here on this. I have a test account open over here. And yeah, it doesn't have it either. Like the first thing on that one is actually it's you. It's your excuse me, your Wilma and Betty comment from the beginning. So that's really, really weird. That is, but nonetheless, we do have the show for tomorrow, and Wahipple is awesome. So you know, shout out to Wahipple for yeah. You know, what can I say? What can I say? Wahipple. Wahipple, awesome. There we go. Luke, Perlovia Torlamine is on sale this week. Venezuela is the 52nd state of the United States. Is that behind Canada? Oh dear. Perlovia, been swinging Torlamine, great results. Nice. What is Oracle? Heard it selling off. Well, Oracle, it's a tech company. It is a tech company. Yeah, I think there's been. I haven't heard anything in the last couple of days, but I know that they were having a little bit of a sell-off not that long ago. And I was trying to think why. I'm not sure the exact reason. I was thinking about the credit sources in AI, but that was actually Broadcom that was happening to. So Paul said hit the like 11 times. Holy banana bread, that's a lot of likes. Luke says, Candace, I promised myself I would buy ENCL if it dipped below $18 again. Yesterday was my day to load up. Took 4% weight. Gotta love the 16% dividend. Yeah, it is a great dividend. I mean, and they're designed for that income, of course. Ian says, normally I'm sitting on cash for days like yesterday. Now I'm not. All right. And Scratch agreed. Venezuela has been labeled a terrorist state, no-fly zone, naval blockade, and soon likely tonight ground bombings until the oil is handed over and Maduro leaves. Oh, so this is kind of like the whole thing with oil. And guys, and just we'll point it out, we were looking at that earlier. Like right now we're on MU, but let's go back to WTI. Yeah, we got a little bit of a spike going on. So yeah, if there's tensions with Venezuela, that could certainly do that. Could certainly do that. I probably should have put in a swing trade today on like XEG, but I didn't. All right. And let's see. Brian got the new goat. Yeah, I love the new goat. One way or another, I'll see the special goat. You got to see it. You got to see it. It happens. It happens. And you know what, Brian, just for you, you can have a second shot at the goat. There you go. I don't normally do that, but hey, you know what? Because it's you. Because it's you. All right. A Cowboy says, will be interesting for building materials with all the mill closures happening here in Canada. Rory says, hello again. We're in blizzard conditions here. Zero visibility. Wow, really? Yikes. It's actually warm here. Well, it's funny. It's warm here because we're above freezing. We're getting rain tomorrow. But I'll tell you, it feels chillier than normal. But I think it's because it's just so wet. It's so wet out here now. Let's see. Looks like a bottom to me. CMEX must trade on pink sheets is a warning side, but job is normal stock that looks cheap, that has lots of cash with no debt. I still no, I like CMEX. I do like. I like what we were. I like what I saw. I didn't see anything I didn't like there, other than of course. I didn't particularly like the fact that it's a penny stock. But Michelle, love the beaver. Yeah, so the beaver was actually made for a joke. Um, uh, I was doing a news story on the weekend stream about the Canadian military and increasing increasing our commitment to NATO, and I was like, yeah, see, look, Canada's doing it, and I showed that as kind of a funny thing, like, we're just giving swords to beavers, and there you go, Trump. There's our NATO commitment. Scott's putting in, yeah, Oracle sells enterprise database software. AI needs it to work. Yeah, absolutely. All right. All right. And let's get, I'm jumping over anybody who's talking to somebody else. Let's see. Hoping you all thank me up the road on Symmetrix. Just a thought once, or Symmetrix. Just a thought once Ukraine begins rebuilding, imagine Canada helping. Just imagine where that could lead. Just a thought, but I love thinking. Thinking is good. No, I really like the looks of Symmetrix. I really, really, really like it. So yeah, I think that's a good one. I think it's a good one. Canada should look to building Canada, in my humble opinion. Well, we're doing that too. We're doing that too, for sure. Perlovia, I agree, Cowboy, but you know how government works. All right, Luke, we got the QQQ. I love it. Candace, my broker offers 5% margin interest. If I bought more ENCL with 16% div on margin, I come out ahead, earning 11% net with borrowed money. Crazy idea? It's not an idea I would do. I'll tell you why. Yeah, right now we got a 16% dividend. Fantastic. It makes it look like, oh, it'll just pay for itself. But there's always unforeseen things. If we had some kind of a major crash, what would happen if ENCL decided to suspend their dividend? I don't think that'll happen. I'm going to put that out there. I don't think that would happen. But you can't, like, dividends are not 100% guaranteed. They're simply not. And I don't know. For me, I just don't like the idea of borrowing money to make money with it. If you are, just make sure the math works well for you. Make sure that you're okay with any kind of inherent risk that comes with it. I wouldn't do it for myself, though. Just to be honest, I wouldn't. But I would just be careful. I would be careful. Because, sometimes when things like that, if they go sideways, they can go sideways in a big way. I would be careful. Brian says CLSA increased their dividend from 10 to 11.5, then 13. They still are only paying 11.3%, but stock price is up from 10 to 13.79. Yeah, CLSA has done really well. I did a deep dive on them. What was that, a month and a half, 2 months ago or so? Venezuela is in rough shape now. Once it becomes war-torn, it's going to be terrible. Long-term, maybe new government would help. Short-term is not going to be good. Lots of Venezuelans here in Colombia. Yeah, and you're kind of really close to the action down there, Ian. Yeah, I'm hoping, I really would love for the war to not happen, but I don't think the odds are in my favor of getting that hope. But what can I say? Scratch. They will print money as they always do. I think we are getting out of a recession, or it will be for a short time. Yeah, it's. I still think it's kind of that thing. Like, I really thought we were going to be in a recession this year. And now I'm at that point where I don't even think we're going to see that recession. I think it's going to get pushed even further. I think it might get pushed beyond 2026, which is sad in some ways, because a lot of times going through a recession, shaking out the economy is not a bad thing entirely. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. But on the other side, the economy is usually stronger for it. So sometimes I feel like if we just keep pushing it, keep sweeping it further and further under the rug, um, I don't want to say it'll limit our economy. I'm just saying it's a healthy part. It's a normal part of the economic cycle. So I think we need to see one eventually, but we'll have to see. Cowboy says, Candace, do you see MSTE as a good buy in point today or a run for the hills? Will it go up sometime? Yeah, maybe. I think it's risky. I think it's always going to be risky because one of the reasons that its dividend is so high is because there's a lot of volatility. Now, one of the things with that volatility is that you have to look at it this way. Every time it explodes in price, you're losing upside potential because of the covered calls. And then you're coming down, you're going down hard because you've got leverage on it. So it can be hard if you do not have the right market condition. So now if you have MSTE, and let's say you had a nice slow climb to the upside, holy banana bread, you'd make a lot of money with this one. But I just have to say, you got to be careful. I think you got to be careful. I think you got to know what you're doing with this one. I personally, I'm not going to hold it. I would rather hold something like HHIS, which doesn't give me exposure directly. Like I'm not getting 100% exposure to a single stock ETF, one of these, one of those harvest ones. I'm getting exposure to all of them. And that to me is a lot safer. So I'm very bullish on HHIS, not so much on MSTE. So I say be careful. I say be careful. All right. Oh, I was actually on this question. I guess these both work together. So is it a run for the hills? For me, it is. I won't touch it. But I know some people are, like Adriano likes it. Adriano will stack it. Obviously, Gary Hill bought a lot, but no, I'm gonna stick with my HHIS. I'm gonna stick a little bit more on the safe side. All right, and we're gonna jump over here. Let's see. With those kinds of funds, I'm in Kyle's corner. All right. Speaking of quantum. Ottawa promises up to $92 million for 4 Canadian quantum companies under new Champions program from Financial Post. Nice. That's not a bad investment. I will tell you this right now. I do follow quantum quite a bit, and it's not a bad sector to be putting money into. That's my opinion on it. Not sure if BB is still selling off a lot of patents or not. I don't think they are anymore. I think they got rid of a lot. Like they got rid of a lot of the business and then streamlined it into the 2 that made sense. And that's been a really good move for them. Natural gas has a great name for marketing. Sounds green. It kind of does. It sounds greener than it is. But it is still greener than oil per se. But, Doorpat. Thanks a lot, Brian. It's a lot cheaper to use Norbit's Gambit and Questrade, but I prefer having everything in Wealthsimple. Thanks as well, Candace. You're welcome. All right. Here, let's see. Claude says, so weird you don't see it. I wish I could take a print screen image to prove I'm not crazy. Hope some other than me in the chat sees it. Sorry, I'll drop. I just find it weird. Yeah, it's strange. It's very, very strange. Now, yeah, because here's the thing, I had my chat open. Over here right from the beginning, and I never saw it. But you never know. Sometimes weird stuff happens on YouTube. So, like I said, I'm giving you and Wahipple the benefit of the doubt. I still appreciate it. I still appreciate it. I mean, I know in a couple of days when the analytics come through, I can go back and double check analytics, but um, you know, I I still, like I said, Wahipple is awesome, so I am absolutely I'm thankful for Wahipple, whether there was one there, whether it was a phantom, like something left over from a previous stream. But here's the thing, and this I will say, um, that's a normal thing for Wahipple. I've seen Wahipple show up after I've made the stream, not before long before the show stops, and just drop in and drop a gifted sub. I've seen Wahipple has done that before, so that probably did happen. It probably did happen. A natural gas wasn't as successful. Unnatural gas. Oh boy. There's some jokes there that I just don't want to make. LOL at the special goat. I know, I know. Do you have any idea why the crash is happening today? It's pretty much the same stuff as yesterday. It's kind of a carryover. Um, there's just a lot of uncertainty right now. There's also tax loss harvesting in there too, what we mentioned. There's it's not a single factor. It's not a single factor. Will we see a green market tomorrow? Um, Maybe in Canada. Maybe in Canada. We'll see. Well, we'll see. I mean, what I'll do tomorrow too is I'll research a lot of the market drivers and really dig into it for you guys for tomorrow, and we'll pull that in. We'll pull that in. Dorpat says Oracle ran into a big problem today. Blue Owl is canceling one of their data center projects for Oracle due to lack of funding, estimated at $10 billion. That's a pretty big stimulus in the wrong direction for sure. Paul says, rained like crazy last night. Tons of people coming into the store to buy sump pumps and hoses for flooded basements and garages. Today is slightly overcast with some blue sky and no rain. And now I think last night, was that part of that Pineapple Express? I heard that was coming your guys' way. I think I saw that on the Weather Network a day or so ago. 7 degrees still. Wish you are safe without damages, Paul. Yeah, hopefully you don't need a sub pump. Sometimes, oh boy, we had when I was in high school, my family had a house that was on the edge of a bog, and we had a sub pump there. And sometimes, I remember there being a few issues where we were actually bailing because the sub pump wasn't working correctly. Never fun. Let's see. Perlovia says, with good leadership, there is no need for recession. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. Printing money just makes more inflation. Food is becoming further out of reach for the poor and those on fixed incomes like pensioners. Yeah, the cost of living is absolutely, it is absolutely higher than it should be. And yeah, a lot of people, especially in retirement, they're being forced to struggle. Like, you take somebody who has, let's say you retired 10 years ago. You obviously did not plan for some of the craziness that we've had since the pandemic. So yeah, I can see it being tough. I can definitely see it being tough. And a lot of seniors are just not retiring. They just don't have that option. They don't have that option at all. Brian says, maybe the Department of War can issue Trump weekly peace medals. Oh boy. All while they keep bombing around the world. Not sure while I think it's a bogus medal for Trump. 004 Polix. Just learned that Venezuela owns a lot of money to China and they were paying with oil. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. If the U.S. does start bombing Venezuela, Venezuela, they're friends with, well, Russia, China. It's not like I don't think China or Russia will come to their aid per se, but it'll certainly increase tensions for sure. Scratch says, get your physical medals before they go to the moon. All right. And Brian says, YouTube was weird today. I got a notification for a stream, for a stream 2 days ago. Then I got one for today's show 10 minutes later. Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. That happens sometimes. Ian says, I just see it as a bit of a pullback. Everything was at all-time highs not that long ago. Bad jobs report in the States should mean rate cuts, normally good for the markets. Yeah, like we did have, and that was one of the things too, one of the drivers that sort of started, and it's still kind of there today is, unemployment went up. Unemployment went up in the United States. The job number's not the best. 64 and 46. If we only invest into only Canadian stocks, would the Canadian dollar go up? Not necessarily. I mean, it's good. I mean, when you're investing in Canada, of course, that money, it's nice. It's nice because that money is staying at home. But the price of the Canadian dollar, it's a huge set of dynamics. Everything from, well, how the American economy is doing. So I'll give you an example. If the American economy is kind of tanking and the Canadian economy is holding steady, that would drive our dollar up more than how much we're investing in Canadian stocks. That would have a bigger impact, a faster impact. Printing money has an impact, obviously. So if we print a whole bunch of money, that can drive it down. Unless, and here's the funny thing, if we were printing money and the US were printing money at the same time in the same amount, it would have no impact, right? Although, when I say the same amount at the same time, think of it relativistically. So if we printed a dollar, and they printed a dollar, well, their dollar is nothing compared to our dollar. You want to basically look at, think of it as a percent. If we added 5% to our money, to our overall total money supply, and they added 5% of their total money supply, that would be the equal anyway. I was getting a little bit too technical on that one. Cowboy, I remember if I don't sell, I'm not losing anything. Unrealized losses. Yeah, exactly. I remember when a guy said, sell all American stocks and buy Canadian. If I did, I would be further ahead. Canada had a really good year. I mean, the Canadian market outperformed the US markets. Nobody predicted that. Nobody predicted that. So that's the thing. You don't beat yourself up for not doing it because, I mean, maybe there was one person who predicted it, but nobody, really nobody. Paul said, atmospheric river, a scientific term for long, narrow bands of moisture from the tropics responsible for significant rainfall and flooding in BC. Exactly. And that last river was a Pineapple Express because it flows over. I think it's because it crosses Hawaii on the way up. Kelly. iRobot shares are less than $1. Roomba bankrupt. I call my RoboVac a Roomba, even though it's not that brand name. Another icon gone. I have one of those, and honestly, I don't know. I just don't think it does that great of a job. If anything, it gets stuck, and it just... So, yeah. Oh, boy. Let's see. Larry says, after Venezuela, we'll be hitting Panama unless they hand over the canal. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of sort of the whole Panama and Greenland thing seems to have fallen out of the lexicon lately, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that come back at some point. Perlovia, my portfolio only really grew when I went 100% TSC. So there we go. Well, there we go. Perlovia made the right choice. Go into the Canadian Stock Exchange. Brian says, a friend of mine has his house backing onto a cemetery. They have a sump pump as well. I told him it was to pump out embalming fluid. That's funny, yeah. Oh boy. Ruma says, some dog doo-doo and spreads it everywhere. Oh, find some, oh God. Let's see, gotta pay for Christmas presents. Stocks sell off. There we go. You're selling stocks to fill stockings. Paul says, just check the utility closet. The unfinished cement walls in the basement are dry. Nice. Ooh, I finally got caught up. I finally got caught up. Here we go. Ian says, it was Kent at K4 that said, sell all American stocks. He was upset about the 51 state talk. Okay, okay. Yeah, K4 Financial. I've checked out a few of their videos. Pretty good channel for sure. All right, guys, we're at the end. We're an hour and a half. That's where I aim for these to be, these shows to go. So we will be back again tomorrow. We're going to do it all over again. Let's see what the market does. Let's see what the Trump administration does with Venezuela. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully they leave them alone. But we will be back here tomorrow. And thank you again to all of those people who showed some support to the channel. So we're talking, and I'm going to add them, Wahipple, Brian, Scratch, Paul, Cat, and Brian again, and Brian again. There we go. All right, guys. Thank you for another wonderful stream. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, wait a minute. I got to be big screen. Until then, guys, take care. Enjoy your evening, and bye-bye. Oops, that didn't work.